more times you get called a twat in public, having a short memory must be the most blissful experience that you can ask for. Like having a short memory, like you're forgetting everything after about 3 seconds. Let's say somebody offends you. 1, 2, 3, well, not anymore. You forgot about it. You know, you're not holding grudges, you're not doing anything to avenge that, or somebody or something happened, right? Or somebody yelled at you down there on the road, right? Or something, you know, 3 seconds later, you're like, oh, what's gonna be for lunch? What are we gonna have for lunch? You know, that must be such a blissful and wonderful experience. And I know a couple of people, including myself, that we like to hold grudges, especially when somebody says something to us. We're thinking about it, even 24 hours later, you know, sometimes a week later, you're like, oh my God, how could you say that, you know, or something. But having a short memory, and not having a short memory in the sense of not remembering anything fact related or whatever you're studying, you're forgetting, like having a short memory when it comes to dealing with people, because dealing with people is a whole nother beast that we gotta learn, right? We are people, we gotta deal with other people, we need each other, even though we might not like each other. You might not like the cashier in the store, but you gotta go to the store, buy yourself things so that you can eat and survive, right? You gotta go there and you gotta deal with that person. You might not like a certain coworker, but you gotta go to your work and you gotta deal with them. So if you have a short memory, if you train yourself to have a short memory, it's gonna be a blissful experience. How to train? I don't know how to train. I'm just saying it must be so wonderful because I don't have it, right? I don't have that short memory. I have a very good goddamn memory, and I'm very vengeful when it comes to that. It's kind of, I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, how could you have said that, or this and that, and this and that? You know, it makes sense, right? It makes sense, and I know some people, it's very rare. Those people are very rare. You cannot find those people. But those people that have actual short memory, you know, they are, let's say, they're used to it. Sometimes I guess the way that you train short memory is that you get used to it. The more times you get called a twat in public, the less it's gonna affect you. You know, let's say you're busking down there in the street. You're busking. You know that. You know, I have a friend that busks. You know, down on the street, and he's telling me all these kind of crazy stories. And if I am busking, I'm gonna remember every single one of them, and I'm gonna brainwash myself that I should not be doing busking anymore. But he forgets about it like 10 seconds later, and he's like, it's part of the job. And I just admire that. It must be a blissful experience. It must be a blissful experience. I just want you to know how to train it. So this video is kind of like a cry for help. It's not something that I'm telling you how to do. I'm just saying something exists, and it's probably a wonderful experience. And that's having a short memory when it comes to dealing with people, not to remembering facts. But even when you're trying to learn something, you don't have to remember it. Anything in a way. You can write down everything in your computer, in your notes, in your paper. It's just so cheap. Paper is so cheap compared to like 200 years ago, right? The computers have unlimited memory when it comes to text, right? Maybe they cannot store millions of images. Probably they can if you buy enough storage, but in a way for texts, even if you can have the cheapest phone and it's gonna be able to store probably a lot of text. So take notes, search for those notes. This is why I like computers. I'm looking at my computer right now, but I like computers because you can immediately search for something. You can immediately search for something within your documents. In paper, if you write something in paper books, right? Searching for a certain fact that you want to find is going to be so incredibly difficult, but searching within your Google spreadsheet or within your Google Docs or a certain node that you're using, it's just so easy. You're just gonna search for a couple of keywords and you're immediately gonna be able to find that certain information. This is the reason why you don't have to remember pretty much anything these days. Dealing with people, forget pretty much that one. That's gonna be a blissful experience. And for facts, You don't have to remember anything. In school, I know, in school, they taught us that we gotta remember everything verbatim. You know, we gotta know everything, you know? So, we gotta unlearn that. I guess we have to forget that. I don't know if this video is a joke. This video is a joke. Let's say it, because let's see what happens.